2022. This is the Permissionless Software Foundation Technical Steering Committee meeting. I am Chris Troutner. I helped found the PSF. Let's go ahead and do a quick round of introductions. Aaron Shoemaker, why don't you start?
What's up? I'm Aaron Shoemaker. I work with NFTs and the metaverse and integration with cryptocurrency. Very excited about the technology that PSF is developing and its future use cases in said areas.
Go ahead, Stoyan.
My name is Stoyan Zhekov, and I'm pretending to help with the JavaScript libraries, but not doing very nice work recently. Excuse me for this.
Easily distracted by NFTs.
Yeah, very easily distracted.
Go ahead, Cool Cleaner.
Hey, Aaron Sunman here. I've loved the PSF. I've been a part of it, following everything. And I've decided recently I'm also going to make sure that I stand up and support it from a hardware perspective and a network perspective, because I feel like this is important to have it be, have it work like it does and as inexpensive from a fees perspective as the PSF and the BCH, AVAX, and eCash are, but also have it be permissionless. Because if it's not permissionless, it's not really going to be a long-term play. It's going to be something that gets shut down. So I'm excited to be a part of this.
Well, thank you, Aaron. That is exactly the attitude we need.
Preach it, preach it.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, get us into the agenda here. How's that looking on your end, Aaron?
We could see it just fine.
Okay. If anybody who's watching this live and wants to participate, I recommend you go to our Telegram channel. That is, let me pull up, t.me/permissionless_software. We can chat live. The YouTube chat doesn't work as well. If you really want to get your thoughts heard, that's the place to put them. So go ahead.
Or just shout out your window.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll hear you.
Yeah. So what our typical agenda is, we have a written agenda that we'll go through, which is our opportunity to just sort of celebrate our technical achievements over the last couple weeks. Once we get through that, we'll open it up to a roundtable where it's sort of free to discuss anything we want. So for people who want to find this agenda and the links that are in it, we file the agenda every week on GitHub under the Permissionless Software Foundation GitHub group in a TSC repository, and the agendas are filed as issues. So click on this little issues tab. So yeah, to kick us off here, I wanted to point people up to the updated PSF videos page. Let me just show this here. So this is at psfoundation.cash/video. If you click on the menu, there's also a link to the videos page. So these, if you for some reason want to watch these previous TSC meetings, they're in this first section. This beginner's video section right now just has a placeholder. This is going to have like very, very basic stuff around wallet.fullstack.cash, like create a wallet, send BCH, send tokens, very basic stuff like that. That's coming. This beginner JavaScript developer section is for people who want to dip their toe in the water of development, particularly JavaScript development. And everything that is posted in this section is based on the Pi 400, which is a $100 computer with 4 GB of RAM. It runs Ubuntu Linux. These first few videos show how to set them up and walk through them. And set up screen sharing, and I'm going to be adding more videos here. Then there's this Devops section, and this is also going to get expanded because the mission of the Permissionless Software Foundation is to help individuals protect their privacy, circumvent censorship, and engage in economic activity. So DevOps is a very important part of that. So right now I've got videos up there on how to do end-to-end encrypted chat using Pigeon, and then I'm gonna have an additional video showing how to do end-to-end encrypted messages using the PSF BCH wallet, but that's not up yet. I just posted this video on how to install Electron Cash with Cache Fusion in order to anonymize your Bitcoin Cash. These are also based on the Pi 400 $100 mini computer. And then at the bottom here, we've got this more advanced infrastructure, DevOps and infrastructure. And so this shows step-by-step how to install the entire global backend of the cache stack. It's the reference implementation is a $400 computer with 32 gigabytes of RAM and a 1 terabyte SSD hard drive. It walks through how to install Ubuntu, set up a BCH full node, set up the Fulcrum indexer, setting up the new SLP indexer, how to set up BCH API, how to set up the IPFS BCH wallet service, which will pipe that infrastructure over IPFS and allow you to claim the PSF bounty. And I'll talk about that again in a minute. Remind me, Aaron, if I don't.
Yeah. Dude, you've been killing it.
Yeah, I've been trying to bust these out. There's a lot more coming too.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to shout out Chris, because that content, not only do you learn how to do this particular thing, but you also learn a lot about the specifics of Docker, of how to put it all together. I mean, I think you have really achieved a lot in just putting out what you've done, as well as it's available to the entire world that can access the internet. So well done. I just want to say.
Nice. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Chris,
and
can you come up with a pill that allows me to sleep like 2 hours a night instead of like 6, so that I can?
Well, you know, a lot of this information's been in my head for a couple of years, so it feels good to get it out of my head.
Yeah.
And get it in a medium that other people can absorb it.
Yeah.
Particularly the OPSEC. Like OPSEC stuff is something that like it's controversial, so people don't like to talk about it. And I just kind of reached a point where like we're at a point in history where people need to know this information.
Yeah. How is it controversial?
Well, so the next video I'm going to do is how to use a VPN to circumvent geofencing.
Oh.
And so that video it will be illegal in Russia and China and North Korea. Are the top ones I know that information is illegal. So like just doing it, or even me producing I don't even know what the legality is of me putting these videos out there.
So basically,
at this point, I don't care.
How to own yourself and your information. That's
right.
So dangerous.
The sad part about it is anything that you want to do privately is often scorned by governments. Even just not being able to like spy on you for some reason is considered a bad thing. I feel like it shouldn't be controversial that people should be allowed to have a level of privacy. So, I mean, I think it's odd that it's actually we have to defend privacy.
Right. And that's why we're all here. I mean, ultimately, that is the mission of the PSF. We're all here because we believe in personal freedom, that our money is our money and it's nobody else's business what we do with it, that our information is our information and it's under our control and no one gets to tell us what we can or can't do with it.
Man, you sound like an adult.
Well, let me wrap up this video section. So I added a few more videos here on how to set up the IPFS service provider, which is also a much simpler thing to set up, even though it's at the end. We need more circuit relays, just like we need people running these infrastructures. There's bounties for both. There's actually like a video cut off here, but Daniel's working on fixing that. And then lastly, there's this section on dev culture. So this gets into JavaScript development, test-driven development, some of the testing practices that you'll interact with if you go through our code, clean architecture, which is a design pattern that we use, and an introduction to sort of the Trello board and the remote work that we do for people who really start to get into collecting bounties and working with the PSF as we hopefully grow and become more of a DAO. So yeah, lots of videos, more videos coming. Encourage everybody to check that out. Okay, well, I'll get into these other three sections here. With regard to the PSF core software, which is BCH API, BCH.js, our Gatsby web wallet, PSF BCH wallet, which is our command line wallet, and now the PSF SLP indexer. So the majority of my focus over the last few weeks has been on phasing out SLPDB and PSF SLP indexer. It's been amazing to watch the death throes of SLPDB. Like every time I stand it up, the amount of time it stays up is decreasing exponentially. It's to the point where I can't get it to run for more than a day. And so I'm very, very quickly trying to phase out SLPDB and phase in the PSF SLP indexer, which is running good. The latest, and because, I won't bring up the cache stack, but I've done that plenty of times before. So if you can visualize the cache stack, the indexer is like way at the bottom. So this is kind of like picking up a house and replacing the foundation. It's a messy process. So it's taking a lot of time. It's very disruptive. But just recently, I pushed an update to the SLP indexer. So there's a blacklist and there's also NFTs, and it was just kind of ignoring those. And so when that percolated up the stack to the wallet, that meant that the wallet would just spend those UTXOs like normal Bitcoin Cash, which would burn them. And that's not good. So I just pushed an update so that those transactions are marked as like null rather than true or false. There's like a null value. So it's like 3 values. And so the command line wallet, and I'm in the process of pushing this up to the web wallet, will now, or actually I should mention, it's really what it comes down to is this UTXO.get call in BCHJS is it will retrieve these hydrated UTXOs from the indexer. And then now if it encounters an NFT or a token that's on the blacklist, like FlexUSD, those UTXOs will get put into this null UTXO array. And so that allows the wallet to just ignore those UTXOs. It won't burn them, but it also just won't do anything with them. They won't show up, and at least they're safe. So if someone imports their wallet into one of our wallets and they have FlexUSD or NFTs in it, they won't burn them. They just won't show up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I figured that's kind of the best of both, the happy medium there.
Yeah. Let's get it functional.
Yeah.
Worry about that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Later. Exactly. Like we will add support for NFTs. That's on the roadmap, but it's we have limited resources, so we have to do what we have to do right now. So that's basically where the indexer is. Starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel there in terms of phasing out SLPDB. Good.
I saw Bitcoin.com had a video on FlexUSD, like how to get FlexUSD, and I was like, okay, do they have any idea what's going on with the SLP right now?
No, they do and they don't. You got to keep in mind that Bitcoin.com is a marketing company. They're not a technology company. And so they have a long history of sweeping technical issues under the rug and just like push the marketing.
Yep.
And so I don't think they care that you can't use FlexUSD with any wallet other than theirs. And I'm pretty sure it's causing a lot of trouble with their wallet. So, more power to them.
Yeah.
I
saw that.
I like our solution. We've just sort of sidestepped the issue entirely.
Well, I saw that and I was like, I've been in the PSF SLP indexer Telegram, and I've seen the chats on FlexUSD. I understand, what's going on, but it's like a lot of people don't get, how intensive it is on the indexer and the problems you're running into with that. And it's not that we hate it. It's just we want things. You want things to work well with the other SLP tokens, right?
Yeah, and there's Tether and there's Honest Coin. Those are both stable coins, and they work great. And they don't just shit all over the chain like FlexUSD does.
Well, FlexUSD utilizes a lot of airdrops, correct?
You're right. That's what I mean by shitting on the chain. Like it's just if you I mean, it's totally. I should point out it's totally possible to run our SLP indexer with FlexUSD. But your database will be 4 times bigger, and it will take 4 times longer to sync the database, or to sync the indexer. So I didn't feel it was appropriate to force that extra effort on every single user of the indexer. Instead, just by default, it blacklists FlexUSD. Anybody can add it in if they want, but no one is required to pay this computational debt if FlexUSD is not something that they care about.
It's a great solution.
I think the interesting thing about the FlexUSD airdrops is like all these numbers of UTXOs, right? So if it was an account-based thing like an EVM chain or something, well, no big deal. They go into an account and it doesn't. But when you're a UTXO chain and you just throw that much out there, it really requires all of the hardware to go crazy trying to deal with it. And it seems like they got to start thinking about that at some point because they're going to run into something.
It's similar, you know, when anybody talks about negative externalities, which is an economic concept, the typical analogy is like a factory that poisons the water, and then you have a town downstream drinking that poisoned water. That's a negative external. Like whose issue is it? Well, we can't stop FlexUSD from poisoning this water, but what we can do is divert their water somewhere so that we can just drink clean water. And that's effectively what we've chosen to do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so the cash strap page here at fullstack.cash/cash strap, these have all been updated. I will be pushing an update to this SLP indexer database snapshot in the next few days that will include all the FlexUSD transactions and all the NFT transactions that have ever been created. Right now, they don't even exist in the database. So I'm syncing one right now, and it'll have that new feature where they're marked as null. And so your wallet can at least identify that this is a UTXO that I should not spend.
So we should, those running that, then once you get done with that, we should re-download what you've got. Okay. All right. So
yes, exactly. Thank you for pointing that out. That's what that's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, because I think that, I mean, when I was doing the SLP indexer, it was so helpful to just download your thing because I was not getting fast. I was not getting there quickly, by the way.
Yeah,
so,
it takes like at least a week to sync from Genesis.
The rest of them went, you know, the BCH node was pretty quick, and so was it, but I understand it is parsing a lot of data. So I appreciate that you were doing that for us.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks.
And Sam has been killing it on that. Sam has been killing it on that side too. I've been seeing in Telegram chats.
Yeah. He's got his own cache stack up and running, and Cool Cleaner as well. You guys have both set up some infrastructure there. I'm actually going to get to Sam here at the end because he just posted something pretty cool. It's unfortunately he wasn't able to make it today. So this item is just what I said about BCH UTXO get. Now it puts those blacklisted UTXOs in a null array. Let's see, minor bug fix in IPFS cord. Okay, so I found a bug in IPFS cord, and this library is like this small critical piece of our infrastructure because it's what allows all of these computers to coordinate over IPFS. And what was happening is that it was the way all the IPFS nodes communicate is that they have a database called an Orbit DB database that they all share. And so anytime somebody wants to communicate with somebody, they drop the encrypted message into the Orbit database for that peer, and then all the peers like coordinate they all work together to get the message to that peer. And to prevent these databases from growing too big, they're supposed to be abandoned every hour and a new database created. And because they're just there really, because what happens is what you find is peers on IPFS, they don't just stay connected. They're constantly falling off and reconnecting.
Yeah.
And so these Orbit databases are what allows the peer to get the message if they were offline at the moment when it was trying to come through. People will be like, oh, hey, this message arrived for you while you were gone. And so that was just causing a problem. Like as your node stayed online for a long period of time, it would just accumulate these databases, and more importantly, these pub sub connections. And so it was just growing and growing and growing. So I just fixed this bug, which properly deletes and disconnects the older databases. So kind of an
Very
important
nice.
thing. So this is another good reason to update IPFS BCH wallet server or service, or the IPFS BCH wallet consumer, or the circuit relays. Those things all use IPFS cord, so it's a good time to update those. BCH wallet consumer. Oh yeah, so I think you guys are familiar with BCH.js. That's our sort of go-to core JavaScript library. BCH consumer is a JavaScript library. So BCH consumer, BCH.js is to BCH API what BCH consumer is to the IPFS BCH wallet consumer. So BCH API is a REST API, and BCH.js communicates with it for interacting with the blockchain. BCH consumer does the same thing, but over IPFS. And so if you go to this minimal, or if you go to npm.js and download this package, in the README, I've got instructions on how to instantiate it, how to check a balance, UTXOs, send a transaction, get transaction history, get details about a transaction, look up a public key for an address, which is used for end-to-end encryption. This is all free. This is leveraging our collective community global backend infrastructure. And so this is free. If people want to write apps for the Bitcoin Cash blockchain and they don't want to pay for anything, this is the library they should use.
Awesome.
Yeah, this will tap into our community infrastructure.
Well, I think it's great the more that we can use IPFS, and you know, as more and more people use IPFS, it's going to get better and better. And I love that we're doing this, and I look forward to finding ways to integrate this into business. For those who are looking to start a business out there, figuring this stuff out would be great, because there are going to be so many businesses that want to onboard into the crypto universe. It's more than just cryptocurrency, but there will be a huge business opportunity just for people that specialize in taking this older business and bringing them into the future of technology through stuff like the IPFS core library and BCH.js. Well, now BCH consumer, right? So
yeah. So the other thing that I wanted to point out here is in this section on instantiation. So by default, it'll use this free bch.fullstack.cash, which is just like a $5 VPS that I have set up, which will route traffic to one of the global backends on the network. But if you are running your own instance of IPFS BCH wallet consumer, you can point this library at that one. And so you can use your own local infrastructure. So just to sort of refresh, this is our Web3 cache stack. So we've got this global backend. We've got the local backend, which is IPFS BCH wallet consumer, which is connecting to the global backend through IPFS. And then this BCH consumer library sort of goes right in here. It would be the very first front end library that you would use, and you'd connect it to IPFS BCH wallet consumer. Either by default, you'll use free bch.fullstack.cash, or if you're running your own local backend, you can just change the URL to this, and you'll connect to your locally running instance, so that you're not like, so this is the point here is that like we have options to be, if you want to be sovereign, if you want to be self-sufficient and you want to run your own infrastructure and you don't want to pay anybody and you don't want to depend on anybody, that's how you do it.
So could a business, if they wanted to accept tokens or accept BCH this way, they could I could set up one of those $400 machines in their business that's running the cash stack, and they could set it to their local host, right? So that as transactions come through, they're processing them their node and then sending them to the blockchain. And then they could potentially take that service and sell it to businesses around them.
Yeah, like if you, one business could certainly do that, but if someone like you wanted to act as a sort of IT specialist for your local community and local businesses, anyone can set this up and set up a domain just like I did. And again, like this is like a $5 a month cost.
Yeah.
And then and then all they need is the URL. And then if anything goes wrong, they can call you or email you, and you're in charge of that global backend and keeping that running. And all their software needs is the right URL.
See, I think this is a great thing for, like, think of the high school kids out there that are wanting to start a business. Here's a great way to do it. You can cheaply set something up and then start integrating businesses into using this technology. And just
I
awesome.
love that you said high schooler, because no one's going to tell you you're too young to run this software.
Yeah.
You don't need a bank account.
Yeah. I mean, my son, he's 16, and he, for his birthday, I sent him some crypto, and he made his first crypto trade the other day, and then he was like all of a sudden talking to me about NFTs. I'm like, my man, he's getting into it. And I'm like, all right.
My nephew is 8, and it was so funny to see his eyes lit up when I told him, I'm like, I gave him $50 for his birthday in Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
And I was like, no one's going to tell you that you're too young to spend this. Like, this is why I didn't give you a debit card.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so it's great to see that. And, you know, I'm hoping that these younger kids can see this as business opportunities, because we don't live in a world anymore where, you know, you go to college and you get this steady job, and like, it doesn't work that way anymore. I say go out and start a business, and here's a great way to do it. You know, get a lot of experience at the same time. All right, I'll shut up and let you keep talking.
I think we're almost through this. So yeah, it was BCH Consumer Library. Quick update on the token decks. Gary has completed 2 of the 3 phases of the swap trade. So you can make an offer and you can take an offer. And then the 3rd phase is accepting an offer. The original maker accepts the final offer. So he's working on that right now. Daniel's starting on a graphical user interface. So the way this is going to roll out, there won't be some global website that you go to in order to trade tokens, because that would be like way too sketchy from a legal standpoint. This is going to be software that you run on your own computer, and the graphical interface is going to be in a web page that, again, you run on your own computer, and everything is on your own computer. And then we use these protocols for traders to communicate. So that's, just want to set expectations. That's how it's going to work. Everything's going to be localized.
That's great. I love that.
And yeah, and so hopefully I'm hoping to get as much progress as we can in the next couple months, and then mostly just focused on Avalanche, and then I'll take that software and fork it, the graphical user interface and everything, over to eCash. And then we need to build a bridge from eCash to Avalanche so that people can move tokens between those 2 blockchains.
And once you do that, we have a channel, the Metaverse Watchers, on Discord. We started as like Roots App. We're changing the name here and there, but we are going to do that live. So for anybody that wants to watch that, once that's up, we're going to create tokens. We're going to swap them on Avalanche, and then we're going to also take them across the bridge. I've been wanting to cross that bridge for a while. you know, I've been on you. I've been calling you out on shows like, Chris, get the bridge up. We want to go across.
Yeah. Yep. It's that's a big difference between code complete and production ready.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. And then finally, Sam just surprised us with the screenshot. He has been working on a browser extension. So
nice.
I mean, this was literally like 10 minutes before we started this broadcast. So I'm looking forward to playing with that. I mean, look at this. He's even got the PSF logo in the browser extension.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's got the favicon, huh? Nice.
Yeah. It's awesome. I can't wait to play with this thing. So yeah, it just looks like it's a prototype. It's just a screenshot, but like, I didn't think it'd be that hard to do a browser extension. It's just one of those things that was like so far down the pipeline, like I've never been able to even entertain getting into. So this is the kind of initiative that
great.
Just applaud.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. Thank you. And you can create rudimentary NFTs with this. You know, if you just put the decimal to 0. for people out there. You know?
Yeah, this create token is actually, if you go to wallet.fullstack.cash right now, it's there, but it doesn't work. Where this is something that this work is being funded by Launchpad IP, and so that's something that Daniel's working on.
But you
so
still
hopefully
can.
we'll have the ability.
You still can create it with the BCH.js examples repository, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
You can create simple NFTs, which is just a regular token with a decimal of 0 and a quantity of 1 and no minting baton. And then you can also, there's also examples for creating NFTs as per the NFT spec.
Yeah.
So that is the agenda.
All right.
So short and sweet today.
It's great.
Yeah, is there anything that you guys would like to discuss?
Well, you know, Stoyan and I have been doing episodes every week, and we're doing episodes on the metaverse, NFTs, stuff like that, and really taking a deep dive. So anybody that is interested in that stuff, we have a Discord, Metaverse Watchers, and I'm sure Stoyan can drop an invite to that. And the PSF social chat. So we talk about what's going on in crypto, and then we get into code. So we have been more on the Ethereum and EVM contract side, but I'm waiting for this work to get done with the PSF so that we can dive into the BCH, AVEX, and ECAS side as well. So.
Nice. Yeah. I've been watching those Twitter feeds. You guys have put out a lot of videos.
Yeah. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Can I share my screen or?
Oh yeah, let me turn that on. There you go.
You love it when Stoyan shares. So yeah. All in.
All in. So the thing that now Aaron mentioned, it's this Metaverse Watchers Club Discord, and I'm trying to keep it simple. So we will talk about 3 stuff: NFT, DAO, and coding. There will be no giveaways, trivia stuff, and stuff like this one. So like on the coding stuff, everything is okay. I just put in here now the hackathons because they coming very frequently. So it's a nice place to have them on one list, and you can choose some project if you have something. And this is all about coding. DAO, still nothing there. I just want to mention this Juno network. It's one of the gems for this week.
Nice.
Juno there, like DAO for interoperable contracts on the Cosmos blockchain. So they're very focused on DAO stuff. So this week and the previous week, they created several very nice services. If you like DAO, it was like Juno Mint, I think. You can create your token like with just a small form. You go just to Mint, and there's like you put there your token details, click, you have your token, like 1 minute.
On the Cosmos chain, right?
Yeah, and the same is for DAO stuff. So you can have your DAO in 5 minutes. They created a site, DAO for everybody. So just click on the button. You have DAO with your own token, with multi-sig wallet, with proposals, everything. So very, very slick interface. Also, like nothing fancy, just boom, boom, boom. And everything of this is open source. They have everything on their GitHub repository. That's why, like, their token was doing great. Like, if you take a look on this token price list, only these guys are green. So So everybody's
Nice.
like very excited about them. But see, this one is how one DAO looks. So I have some proposals. They're executed. When you make a new proposal, you can attach this to spend some money or to mint new stuff or something, and you vote with your stake tokens.
Hmm.
And yeah, just this one. Simple, very, very, very nice.
You know, Stoyan, you've shown us so many tools that are out there for creating and managing DAOs.
Yeah.
And but what I haven't seen is like actual companies or organizations using those tools. Like
Okay,
that's
I
the
will
thing.
show you.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that's the thing that caught my eye with Shapeshift.
Yeah.
Is they're the first large organization that like put all the pieces together and actually used it for like a
Yeah,
real
but
business use
like
case.
I told you, like Aaron broke me with his shows, so now I'm all NFT. But what I found interesting was somebody mentioned you should treat every NFT like a company, not like an art. So because recently I also, how to see, issued my own very, very fancy pictures on
They are so
here,
cool.
but nobody don't buy them because they're just pictures. So
I need to get some near. I haven't had a chance to get some.
yeah, but what changed my perspective was every NFT is a DAO or company, but because it's distributed means every NFT is a DAO. Means it's not what they like their art, but what kind of services is connected to this NFT.
Yes,
So,
totally.
for example, that's why I first subscribed for I don't know how many, like I think 10 of this Discord stuff. Everybody's there, like doing something. It's crazy work, like wild jungle. And I don't have the money or time or anything to do with them. But after this, I start focusing on the Discords and NFTs which are connected to something like a DAO, which are doing something with the NFT. And this one started to become interesting. So I found several interesting organizations that are usually using these DAO tools. And what they are mostly doing is, because all of this crazy jungle stuff, they have something like a common flow of a release of these tokens. They have some whitelisting and OGs and stuff like this one, inviting people to Discord, giving this preference access to mint first. So it's almost the same workflow. So these people, they realize that, okay, we can give them a tools to do this thing. And it's mostly these memberships NFTs. They're huge. So these two, for example, here, these are some Indonesian guys, and this is a pretty big project on Solana. So they're providing tools for, you can check this Grapes network. So they calling it decentralized social networking, but they're providing gates to medium sites. So for example, you have your Discord and you want just the people which have some mint, some token to have access to some channels. And depends on how much they pay, they can access other channels.
Yeah.
So they will
cool.
assign some roles. Like all of this Discord, this is about assigning roles to people. So this, I think now it's a huge niche for the programmers to create NFT access to media gates. So this, if you see this, like this near 5 is on near. The other one was on
near blockchain.
yeah, on Near blockchain, these guys, they created very not so fancy but simple DAO pass,
Hmm.
and they sell them for cheap or more expensive. It depends how much you want to pay, but they become a second one on this Paras, which is something like OpenSea on Near. They
Yeah.
are the second top collection with their just simple membership DAOs. Maybe I can find them here. They maybe not. Everything is sold. This one, Near NFT DAO. So you just send several levels, VIP level 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you have, for example, level 1, you can access this channel.
Yep.
So creating a software for this will be great, I think. Great implementation of the.
Yeah, this is this is inspiring because we can definitely do this on Bitcoin, on on the 3 blockchains that we support.
Yeah.
Exactly, I was thinking when I saw you work on the videos. This is enormous work, and you will not be incentivized for it at all, which is shame. But if, for example, you have several passes, if you have this NFT, you can access like this level of videos, because with the GVT token that we have now, you can restrict the access to the API on some level, but restricting access to other informations like website or Discord or like this, it's not possible with GVT tokens. So in the current payment model, it will be not very easy. But if you do something with this membership NFTs and some gate, it will be like bringing some money to the PSF DAO. Or
yeah, so this isn't the same thing you're talking about, but on a similar, I've been thinking about writing a specification for this idea that's been going around my head, where it really doesn't have anything to do with NFTs, but it's similar in how they're using NFTs here to control essentially a paywall, where so fullstack.cash right now uses JOT tokens to control the rate limit access. And a JOT token, it's part of the Web3 standard. And what it is it's just a JSON object, and part of it's encrypted. It's like a self-certified thing. We could do a similar. I was thinking about people who are donating infrastructure to the community by running a global backend. One way we could sort of very indirectly make people pay for access to, or maybe premium access, would be something like a JOT token, where in the header you would pass an IPFS hash, a CID, and that CID would resolve into a JSON object that would have an address, a signed message, and a TXID, which would show that like you burned like 1 PSF token. And that gives you access to any computer that honors the system, would give you access for like 24 hours after that token burn happened. And so it's like a JOT token in that you would pass something in the HTTP header, but it's not like a JOT token. That's pretty much where it ends. But basically, it would just be a very concise piece of JSON data with 3 key values, and it would allow a computer running a global backend to verify that this address owns, did in fact make this transaction, and they did in fact burn a token. So like, okay, go for it. So it'd be a way to grant access. And that, I was thinking in terms of like, API calls, but I mean, that's essentially all this is, or that's essentially all a paywall is. So any sort of paywall application could use that. But I love what you're presenting here with NFTs. We could easily do the same thing. It all kind of comes back to the same idea.
We are maybe talking about the different layers. You're talking more about the lower
Yeah.
OC model
Yeah,
talk, and I'm talking more about the more application level where we can restrict access. For example, I've done this for free with this. I opened this Discord mostly to experiment with it. So these two channels on the bottom, they're protected with NFT with this unlock protocol that we talked about before.
yeah.
So this one can be done pretty easy. It's just not cool because they providing all of the tools, and it's not. I don't getting any profit from this. But if we have some DAO related NFT, like these guys, they, for example, the other one that I wanted to show, they also something like DAO. They mentioned Million Souls DAO. They also have this DAO access pass, but it's giving you access not only to their Discord, because everybody is doing this one, but also it's giving you access to tools that they're creating. So if you see, they have several like blockchain related
and this is
services.
the primary use case here is access to a Discord channel.
No, that's why this is one of the benefits. But for example, if you want to use some of their tools, they're mostly browser related. So you can check rarities of NFTs or something. You will use them only if you have this NFT pass.
Okay, so it's more like a paywall.
Let me piggyback off of what Stoyan's saying, because I do like. This is part of where my company's business model is going to head. And I've learned that NFTs are more than just artwork. It's about community, and you're paying to be a part of community and different levels of access to that. So how does this work in a brand? Say you are a furniture manufacturer. You manufacture handcrafted furniture, and you sell your furniture, and everybody that buys your furniture, like you say, first 1,000 people that buy this chair get the chair NFT. So it could be an NFT where the NFT itself is a 3D object of a chair. You can 3D print it. It's got functionality. You can take it in the metaverse, but the NFT itself gets you access to content. Maybe the actual builder is going to sit down and he's going to talk about, this is the grit of sandpaper I use. This is the lacquer I use. This is this. The people that get that NFT are concentrated a type of consumer, one that is actually interested in that. And it's a way for companies to verify that. And then not only that, but if that becomes valuable, they can sell their access to other people. So like a better idea for this would be like a whiskey company, Jack Daniels. They release an NFT and they say, all right, we're going to release 10,000 Jack Daniels NFTs, and maybe we're going to do it randomly. So check your bottle cap, right? Something like that. And then you get these NFTs. What these NFTs give you is, if you come to the Jack Daniels factory, you get a free tour through. You get free whiskey. You get the chance to buy merchandise that nobody else can get. You get the chance to have discussions with the master distiller. That's where the value of that comes, because it's about building community. And what I've been telling people is, if you look at Web 1, Web 1 was very much a one-way street, you know. Web 2 was all about building brands. Build your own brand. Build your own brand with this product. Build your own brand as a person. Web 3 is all about building communities around the products. So instead of just saying, we got a product here, it's like, let's get together, let's talk about the product. Let's talk about you're a cook. Let's talk about different recipes, different pots and pans. Let's have discussions on this. And by the way, here's my product. Because what happens when you do that is people start to see your expertise. They start to trust you. They start to say, you know what, I don't have time to make a meal, but I know this person over here makes a great meal, and I'm going to buy from them in my time. And so NFTs are starting to shape this, and like Stoyan is saying, give different levels of access, you know, in that sort of way.
You know, let me piggyback on what you just said, because there's something I've been working on for Launchpad IP that is this I've talked in the past about the SLP mutable data library, which is going to allow token icons.
Yeah.
And we're working on this. This is sort of like a debug tool for people who use that library. It will be here at token.fullstack.cash, but this is a screenshot I'm sharing. It's not functional right now at the moment, but what it'll do is when you create an NFT, we're talking about, so that mutable data spec is all about creating mutable data, changeable data. The tokens already have immutable data. So what this tool lets you do is in an SLP token, there's the document URL and there's the document hash. And the document URL is usually like the website of the company that issues it. But if that document URL is instead a CID, an IPFS hash that resolves into a JSON document, it'll get displayed in this immutable data section, which translation error. Daniel called it immutable. I had to go through and fix all of his code comments because he kept calling it immutable. But basically, so like what you were saying about the carpenter who documents like the grade of sandpaper that he used, like I'm thinking like Jill Bliss, who's a local artist that I'm working with, she does these mushroom medleys. And so in this immutable data, she could put, the date it was created, the types of mushrooms that went into this collage, any other sort of details about the art that's like never going to change because it's about the art itself. And then in the mutable data section is the same thing. That's where that SLP mutable data library comes in. That goes into the document hash field and creates a breadcrumb trail that eventually resolves into a JSON document. The difference being that JSON document can be updated through time. And so that's in the mutable data section below. So what you just said, is this is sort of what I've been working on in terms of like technically realizing that.
Oh yeah. And so like, it's one of these things like right now, how do you monetize your core fan base, right? Say you have a Facebook group or you have a Telegram or you have a Discord. How do you separate the wheat from the chaff? Because if you have a product, you probably have like between 100 and 1,000 people that are just your core fan base and would purchase an NFT to not have the other voices and have people that are just concerned with, this thing. Maybe they are like, to use your friend as an example, maybe they're like an artists and creators that way, and they just want to talk to those people and keep that discussion out. Then she wants to monetize this in such a way that she can promote her product. This becomes a way to do that, and the fact that you can sell membership,
that's an interesting idea.
Like I'm done with this group. I've learned what I want to learn. I'm going to put the membership token up. So like, to use the Jack Daniels example again, maybe I got the Jack Daniels token for free. Well, not for free, but I bought a bottle. I got the token. The token's now worth $10,000 to be in this club. I'm selling the token, and so you could sell that membership and change these grades. And I don't pretend to know where it's going to end up. I just see that this is the direction that it's going.
Yeah.
It's difficult, however, with tokens like this one to implement to automate some payments. Like, for example, in this case with the artists, to implement royalties. When this token, after this is sold by somebody else, she to continue to get some money. And also to split, for example, if she's not the only owner, but if we all of us own this NFT, automatically to get part of this royalties without having fighting, why you not pay me, something like this now.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. So let me share that screenshot again so you guys can see visually what I'm talking about. But the idea here, this goes back to this trust merchant idea, which I think is Aaron, I got from Aaron, is if this was an NFT, so imagine that little circle icon was an actual like artwork piece. The immutable data is fixed once the token's created, and nobody can change that. And that could include the artwork piece, but right now we're putting that artwork in the mutable data. But there's two wallet addresses here. There's the address that holds the token, and then there's the address that controls the mutable data. And so she would retain that private key for that address. And so as this artwork travels around and changes hands and gets sold in secondary markets, that mutable data acts as like a certificate of authenticity, and they have to come to her to update the data, because she's the only one that can update that data to reflect like the current ownership of the NFT. It's like a formal process, and that's her opportunity to collect a royalty.
That's not bad.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's interesting. That it's great to see innovation in this space, because I feel like it's either mutable, it's immutable, or it's not. This now allows for a new way of thinking of that.
Yeah. So yeah, just sort of, this is how I work, is like I'm thinking about like the very low level technical details and then build up. I hate like seeing something cool and not knowing how it works, and then like sort of digging into it and being disappointed, like, oh yeah, there's a centralized company, and if they go away, then all the NFT art goes away too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely about building in a decentralized manner, understanding where things are headed. I mean, the metaverse is well, it's not new. I mean, like if you watch the last Roots Up episode that Story and I did last Friday, I actually went through a metaverse presentation I put together. It's a great crash course for anybody, and I'll drop it in the PSF social. And but you can really get an idea of how all these technologies came about, how they're all converging to make what we have now, from crypto to photogrammetry to LiDAR to ambisonic audio and VR. Like all those things are converging. And
I think it might be a snow crash course, right? Since metaverse was actually coined as a part of Stevenson's Snow Crash book.
I didn't know that, but
yeah.
It's but so it'll give you a good overview on what that is and where it's headed, and we're still developing now. We don't know where it's going to go. There's great groups out there, like Monetize has a wonderful they have a Unity asset that you can load in and then create worlds, and you can populate them with NFTs. And this I do think, I keep saying this, what's going to happen in the future as these bridges get established, NFT creators and community creators will go to the cheapest chain to produce these things. It will really open the economy up, and you're going to see a lot of pressure taken off of Ethereum and some of these other chains and distributed more evenly across all the blockchains. And that's going to be a great thing.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great place to wrap this up. It's been about an hour.
All right. And let's go ahead and do the outro. And for anybody out there, be in the chat, talk to us. I know I've seen Richie in the chat. He's been building a music app. It looks awesome. I haven't had a chance to really look into it, but that is great that he's doing that. And Sam has been just on fire. So great to see that, Sam. And yeah, if you guys want to check out, we should be doing another Roots Up or Metaverse podcast or stream tomorrow morning around this time, if you're cool with that, Stoyan. And then Stoyan's typing away. And
no, I just wanted to show you something.
Oh, okay.
We got VR stuff.
All right. Stoyan, anything you want to show us, man? Let me get to your screen.
No, it can be after you wrap
up.
Okay,
we could wrap up. All right.
Okay. Because everybody's now waiting. So.
All right.
Well, thanks everybody for watching and joining, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.